Hello, hello, hello. Hey. What's all that about? I didn't do that. Have I got a guest? How strange. I literally pressed no button. Am I preparing for a guest? Do I have a guest? Are you my guest? There we go. How did that happen? I didn't even know I had that scene. But how are we today? Happy Monday, the 27th of October. We might get some English people because their clocks changed. So rather it being their late night 11 p.m., it's now 10 p.m. Now 10 p.m. Camera check. Hey, what's all this space? Okay, that'll do. That'll do. So we are back. Was that my water on the side there? Oh my goodness, it's all going mad. This camera's out of shot. Should be more here. It's cutting me off. The production crew has not been of assistance. But we're back with a Power Talk. There's going to be episode 1175 today, and it's going to be fun. Slightly opposite in a way. Hey! Welcome. So YouTube still has this mistake. Usually it should be your display name, but it's pulling in your username. What's the weather like in Chicago? I've never been. I'm in San Diego. So it's my 3 p.m. Is it cold? Is it autumn? Are the leaves falling? Is it golden? But great to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Yesterday, we did a live stream hiking, so that was fun. We did that for like 60 minutes. And I appreciate your comment, but you should be about there, I think. Hey, my friend Linda, great to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a classic autumn, that's nice. I've been to Boston around the fall time. See, it's got to be in shot. And that was very pleasant. I don't know if that's familiar, similar. Hey, Mina. Welcome. That's awesome. 2 days in a row. Man, I've got such a busy week. So today, obviously my dad, not to everyone, but some people here, my dad does a coaching call for my people. So I had to edit, produce, and kind of get that sent out. Recorded some hypnosis sessions, a hypnotic meditation, a day sleep, and 4-hour sleep. And that's all on breakup recovery, like in relationships, because that was requested. So that will be out in the future. Then tomorrow, I've got a speaking gig, which will be cool. And then guess what? On Wednesday, I have another speaking gig. So I've got to prep, plan. I've got to produce some slides. I gotta come up with some... Because one of the gigs I'm doing is not very... not necessarily hypnosis friendly, but I'm not really talking about hypnosis or anything. So I'm gonna do a process with them. Not hypnosis, but a process. So yeah, I got 2 speaking gigs in a row. Tomorrow and then Wednesday. And the one on Wednesday is like 90 minutes. And I'll be honest, sometimes I think, can I speak for 90 minutes? Which I can, but in my mind there's that little bit of, what if I don't have enough content to speak about? Where usually though what happens is, I've got too much content. And I'm like, can we go over? But there you go. What else do we have to say? What else do we have to say today before we get started? We usually get started about 1:15 the hour. I've got to fix this. This mic, I don't like in view. If I bet my arm there, see? Very unprofessional from the set designers. That's awesome. Yeah, it seemed like a good one. Great celebrations. Hey, Mary. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the mic I usually use for the hypnosis. As some of you will know, this is the mic. 1, 2. Speaking to you, the unconscious mind. We're gonna do it. We've gotta do it properly. I move things around for this. Okay, these ones. Speaking to you, the unconscious mind. It's important to remember all the things you need to remember. That's right. Speaking to you,
the unconscious mind. It is now time to make that change. That's it. I am Alvin, the hypnotist. That's right. Right, let's
get back. It was a great session. Serendipity again. Charles brought up the topic of action, and I just got done listening to Brendan Bouchard. I haven't heard of him for ages. New podcast episode 1 is on taking bold action. Well, my friend, this is going to be helpful for you for this power talk. Because that's what we're talking about in many different ways. And there's the superstar Zach. Stealth mode. Stealth mode. Listening while he works. All the way in Australia. How cool is it that we get to speak to people around the world? Do you think I could do a hypnosis session with this reverb? So speaking to you, the unconscious mind. I want you to remember, that you are worthy, deserving, and enough. What do you think? So speaking of my dad, on the podcast, there's a hypnosis session where he's speaking in your, say, for example, left ear, and I'm speaking in your right ear. We did that years ago, because we do it on trainings. So like at the end of a day of either teaching practitioners or therapists, I'd be talking about one thing and he'll be talking about another thing. And while you're listening to me over here, he would be saying something else. Oh, let's do this. Are you ready? Can I do this? Let's see. I don't want to mess things up. Right. How do I do this? Where is this? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot. Where is this? We'll get to the process. Power talk. Soon. Oh, wrong one. Oh, here we go. So I can be over here, or over here. No, over here. So speaking to you, the unconscious mind, you will now learn many things. That's right. See, we can do that. Yes, the double inductions. I love hypnosis. I want to do a hypnosis training again soon. I always put my hand out to stop Alexa there. Where you must wear headphones. Yeah. I used to do a lot of that. No, not that I'm aware of. But yeah, I did a podcast as a guest, but I don't know when it's going to be released. I mean, if it's like me, I've got episodes out till next year planned. Like this episode is not going out until February, I think. Maybe late January. Samantha's here. Welcome. For the consecutive 1175th time. I was thinking about this before I started. I'm like, I wonder if Samantha's like, I don't want to attend today. But now I've kind of hypnotized her to have to go back because I keep saying that it's her consecutive time. But she's like, oh, I've got to say hi. I don't want to go on live. I've got to say hi. I've lured you to having to show up. But you don't have to, Samantha, by the way, if you're busy. What's the name of the podcast? I can't remember his name. I don't know the name of the podcast, but it's Russ Ruffino. An awesome friend. In fact, the speaking gig I've got is with his event tomorrow. I mean, I can't say what the Wednesday speaking gig, the 90-minute one is, because I wouldn't have been like authorized to say, but it's an agency. Which makes me sound cool, but it's not like a 3-letter agency. It's actually a 4-letter one, thinking about it. Yeah. He's a cool guy. Right, it's 1:15 the hour. Should we go ahead and start? Which mic should we use? This one? Or this one? What do we feel like today? This one? Or this one? You get to choose. This one? Or this one? Mic 1. Right, that's mic 2. Mic 2. Or mic 1. What shall it be? I kind of like this one. But it's not as good for the clips. Well, I had one complaint. They were like, what's this getting in the way? If I move it out the way, it will have sibilance. No, not sibilance. It will have the what's that called? The technical sound term. Well, so it's a mic pop. That's what it is. So we got mic 1. Mic 1. So maybe we'll use mic 1 today for fun. Just to annoy the person who said, what is this all about? What is this all about using that? You will notice my dad uses most things that I use because I tell him. I actually purchased, that was a present to him, I got him this. And he also got what has with this as well, this exact mic, a custom mic. And I tell him what to do with his lighting. I set up when I was in England, last time, I set up his cameras. I'm actually trying to get him to buy a new camera, which is this camera. So this camera here is a webcam. But it streams and records in 4K. Which means you don't need the fancy setup of this camera or this camera, because this camera and this camera are hooked up through different bits of equipment, whereas this camera, it's a bit dusty, is a USB. So I'm trying to get him to get that. Maybe I'll get one for his birthday. Well, that'll be next year now, for Christmas. Yeah, I like my gear. I like all my gear. Like this. My buttons. Mary. Get out the way, Mary. What are you doing? Trying to... Gotta make sure I don't end the stream, but... I can press different music. Very low music. Get the app, by the way. Get the app. You are a troublemaker. Why? Because look, you're just taking up my URL. People are like, how am I going to get to the Hypnosis app if I don't know where the URL is? So that proves that you're a troublemaker. So I have to manually take that down. So now you can see the domain. You shouldn't have put yourself there in the first place. Okay, let's get on. We are a couple of minutes late, 5 minutes late. Let's get on to the Power Talk. Episode 1175. We'll abruptly press the button to see if it works and stop the music. And then we'll go ahead and change the camera. And then we'll go ahead and hydrate. Then we'll go ahead and start the episode. Where is the music that I want? This one right here and right now. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Where is the button? Here. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 1175. And in today's episode, we are doing a power talk. And this power talk is going to be a little bit self-indulgent. And I'm going to start by saying that I don't want to impress you, but impress upon you. Because what I might say may or may not be a little bit counterintuitive in the beginning. But I promise you, it can actually liberate you and squash all fears, worries, and doubts, or at least the majority of them, and allow you to live life in a way without boundaries, without limitations. But to preface the beginning of this, I am personally a pretty insular, probably born introvert. And of course, growing up, had my worries, doubts, anxieties, fears, the imposter syndrome, never thought I was good enough, worthy, or deserving. And because of that, I dropped out, I got like 6 C's at, which would be in secondary school, which is like kind of like high school. And all the rest were like D's, E's, and yes, in England we have F's and E's. E, F, G's. I don't know if we have G's, but you know, the lowest of the low there. I don't think I actually got the lowest, because I think that was when a U, where you got really, really wrong. But anyway, I wasn't that good at school. I actually then dropped out of college. I didn't show up for the exam, and that was for business, and I did very, very terrible. So throughout my life, my fears were my biggest issues. But then I began to realize that fear and even chaos, self-induced chaos, can actually be one of the biggest things to be able to allow you to grow in a 10x way. Not a 1x way, not a 2x, 3x, 4x, but a real huge experience when it goes to putting yourself in certain situations. Now, I'm not saying that you should create chaos in your life, because a lot of the time our issues, our stories, our fears, and our limiting beliefs create chaos. This is like a chaos that you create with an end outcome in mind. Like there's a purpose behind it, there's an outcome, there's a desire, there's a reason, and there's a meaning. Not the meaning because I want more bad relationships or I want to be more in debt, but quite the counter of, on the other side of this chaos I'm creating, or the other side of this fear that I'm creating in my life, is actually going to be something which is going to propel me forward and actually allow me to experience life. So that's like the beginning part of this. So when I first got into hypnosis, I was 18 years old. I was very unhappy. My dad, who was practicing hypnosis as a hobby, said, go on this hypnosis course. Hopefully you'll go into many trances, and on the way on one of those trances, you might, get fixed, because I felt broken ultimately. Now, the thing is, I didn't want to go. I really did not want to go on this hypnosis course. One, because it meant I'd have to face my fears. I'd have to face my issues. I'd have to face hypnosis. And to me, hypnosis, despite my dad practicing it, had in my mind this connotation of this power, this, like stage hypnosis and all those things. Not to say stage hypnosis is bad or doesn't exist. I mean, I've actually done courses on it. But in my mind, I stigmatized it as being something to be fearful of, or at least kind of cautious of, let alone my issues. But on top of that, the stacking of that, this course was about 4 or 5 hours away. And as an 18-year-old, it would mean I'd have to go on this venture all by myself for the very first time. I know some of you were like, oh, I went traveling by myself, or I've gone here, there, and everywhere. But it wasn't in my nature to do that. It was actually quite the opposite of my nature. My nature was to be in my safe place, right? But I knew that something had to change. I knew that I had to do something. And I thought that on the other side of that fear, that thing I couldn't even imagine, something was going to learn. So I put myself in that position of fear, and I embraced it as much as possible. Now on that journey, and by the way, for those in England, it was a Vauxhall Nova, turquoise green, and it was a 1 liter, right? It was pretty old, and it wasn't that pretty. And going on that journey through like the motorways and the equivalent of highways and all those things was a pretty much a daunting experience to me. And then having to stay all by myself for a week or so or more to learn about hypnosis. But through all that fear, actually we'll go on to the next one, and then we'll kind of loop it all together. So having done the hypnosis course, I was in my job I absolutely hated, and I thought, well, now it's time to put this into action. So with all the fear, worry, and doubt that I was experiencing about this next one, was to start my own practice. So there's an 18-year-old person who is trying to convince people to trust them. And I literally had this sentence on a piece of paper: even though I'm 18 years old, I'm super passionate about helping you. I had insecurities about my age. I even wore like a shirt and tie because I was kind of young looking anyway. But I had this fear and worry about it, like putting up a website, trying to market it, do like coding and things like that, 18 years old. And there's way back in the day where you had to do coding or you had to pay someone. And it was very, very fearful and daunting being able to work with people on a one-to-one issue, trying to convince people that I'm the person who's going to be there to help them. But I felt the fear and did it anyway. And then a few years later, I went to America solo by myself, and I didn't really want to go, but I wanted the outcome, which was to be a trainer. And this meant being over in America all by myself once again, with nerves, traveling, worries, fears, doubts, that internal chaos of, can I do this? To become a trainer of what I do. And even the test itself, I had to memorize. And bear in mind, going back at school, terrible at school, dropped out of college, remember. I had to memorize about 250 or so questions. And I had to figure that out. So that was very daunting along the way. And then after that, I moved to Liverpool by myself, not by myself, with my girlfriend at the time, which I didn't really want to do, but she was going to university there. So all that fear and that chaos in my mind, I was like, I'm going to learn from this though. I'm going to embrace going out there. And then starting my podcast, a very, very hard, expensive thing to do. I didn't really want to do it, but I thought if I'm going to help people in the world, I've got to do something. So I put my voice out there to be criticized, or my thoughts to be criticized, where I could have happily just had my own little comfy little practice at home. Then, as we continued going on, I got invited to go on the largest TV channel in England to let go of fears or phobias, all within 5 minutes. 5 of them. All I had was 5 minutes at the most to let go of those phobias, actually on my YouTube channel. Being on TV and having all this pressure to let go of a phobia of a snake, of a dog, of a tarantula. And by the way, I had my own fears I had to deal with right there around a spider because I had to pick it up. And it was pretty daunting and fearful. But that chaos is something that I wanted to create because there was something I had to learn and discover about myself. And then going on writing my book because I was illiterate at school. I think I got a D in English. So I thought, well, how on earth am I going to be able to write a book? So using that chaos, I try to figure out a solution. And then I went solo traveling to Thailand, and I promise you the night before, I pretty much said I wasn't going to go. But that internal chaos I put there because I knew I had to do something about it. And I knew that something had to change in my life at the time. And I thought, well, if there's something to be learned in life, I've got to do things I don't want to do. I got to allow the fear to expand me in some way. So these are kind of things that I'm doing against my desire, knowing there's something to be learned from this. A bit like the whole book, I can't remember a surname, I always forget, but feel the fear and do it anyway. And then I know it's all about me, by the way, I've said this from the beginning, but there's a meaning behind all this, which I will cover. I then went to Thailand again to get fit, and I lost, 10, 15 pounds. I ran around the island of Koh Samui straight for 32 miles. I got beaten up by professional Thailand kickboxers, and even an MMA star. I fractured my rib. And literally, I didn't want to do any of those things, but I knew there was something to learn. Not so much the fractured rib, but there was a meaning behind that. And then another one I thought of was moving to the US as well, with just a suitcase to start up my life. So what is the meaning behind doing these things that I definitely really didn't want to do? But I knew there was something on my heart, that there was going to be something meaningful about this. You see, my greatest fears, I realized, were my biggest opportunities to expand. I realized that fear and that chaos I placed upon myself to do the things I didn't want to do expanded me. You see, we seek calmness, we seek peace, we seek serenity, and I'm absolutely for all of those things. My work is designed to be able to let go of conflicts and issues and limiting beliefs of not being worthy, because that is creating chaos. But I'm talking about creating conscious chaos, or we can change it to fear, or things that are going to cause us to push ourselves. Because on the other side of that fear is that expansion. You will find out what you're made up of on the inside. You'll realize that you are more powerful than you could ever imagine. And then, if I think about that, it actually caused these chain of events. Each one of these events led to one another. Like when you think about, doing the hypnosis training. Going all by myself led me to create a practice, led me to create the podcast, led me to create, even if we say things like the YouTube channel, it led me to the app. All of these things came from the fears that I didn't really want to face, but I chose to place upon me because I knew there was something to learn there. All of those things. And even with the book, right? I didn't write my book, I spoke my book, because having done the podcast for a few years, I learned how to speak. So I thought, why not be creative, feel this fear, but be able to create a book from just audio, which eventually got picked up by Hay House, which was my dream publisher. They rejected it initially. Very hurtful for me at the time, because I thought that's who I really want to get published by. But I persisted, and they reached back out. And then that led me to go to places like Thailand to be able to get fit. All of these things that I did allowed me to get better as a person. So I absolutely believe that yes, we should seek peace. Yes, seek that serenity. Yes, seek the desire to be able to release the chaos you cannot control, right? Things beyond ourselves, or we feel the stories that we've been living by, the themes of our life, all of that thing, the limiting beliefs, the negative emotions, the limiting behaviors, actions, and reactions. Absolutely, do your very best to remove that chaos and remove that fear. However, when you start to be able to create challenges for yourself. Now, I create big challenges most of the time because it goes against my nature, like I said, but it pushes me to do things I don't want to do. Even public speaking gigs where I take them on, part of me doesn't want to do them, right? I just don't have the urge to be a big known public speaker, but I get invited. But I want to do it because I know there's something beyond that. I know that even though I don't want to be speaking necessarily on stage, although I actually love doing it in the moment, it's just all the the anticipation of it, the travel and all those things, I'm not the biggest fan of. But I know there's a deeper meaning behind it. I know that I can help people by doing that presentation, doing a demonstration, doing a process, a group one in front of like a 50, 100, 200 people. I know there's something important, so I allow that fear to propel me forward to do these big things. Now, if you are like me, who doesn't like the big conscious chaos of growth or the fear, well, it doesn't mean you have to place upon the big ones. What can you do today which is going to push yourself beyond your comfort zone? Because when you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you're not really going beyond it, you're just expanding it. Just see it as that. Like if you think your boundary of your comfort zone is like a wall, we're wrong. We're just expanding it out. We're going into unknown territory, which will then begin to explore and become our own territory, right? We actually allow that environment to expand. So what small things can you do? Like even in the first audio program, I created a little challenge for the people, which was ask someone the time. I know it's harder today with phones and everything, but because most time we have this, but I'd say ask a stranger for the time. Like it could be a fearful thing for you to do that, but it's not tied to a potential big fear of rejection, right? Because no one's really going to say, who are you to ask me what the time is? So you can tie these little mini fear journeys or conquests and experiences that allows you to grow as a person. So think outside of the box. What small things can you do which will allow you to embrace the fear? Because then after a while, although there is discomfort, you actually start to befriend it a little bit. It becomes like a friend that you're not quite like totally in sync with, because there is fear and worries and doubts around them. But you start to become familiar with that feeling. You start to befriend it in a way that you know it will be here and it shall pass. If you do this thing, it will be fun. And the more that you do, you start to gather evidence. Like for me, I've got the evidence of setting the practice up in Liverpool. I got the evidence of getting the book deal. I've got the evidence of running around Koh Samui, the island Koh Samui in Thailand for the 32 miles straight. It's just like a one long road around the island. Like I've got that data and I've now got resources, which means I'm a resourceful person. It means I have a skill set which I never knew existed. And it wasn't anything I had to learn as such. Well, anyway, that's a bit of, I had to learn business, I had to learn how to market, I had to learn how to drive to get to where I'm going, all those things. But it's kind of things we can do, which doesn't need a lot of skill set. It's just the will to put yourself in uncomfortable situations where you know that you will grow. And you can do, I can't remember it now. There's been broadcasted live on YouTube, so maybe the chat will help me. But it's like that speaking group. Toastmasters, you don't have to let me know, chat. I even hit my mic in excitement there. But Toastmasters, I think it's in America as well. Maybe it started in America, but I know it's in England, where you kind of get together as a group to be able to learn how to do public speaking. And you're all learning it together. I've never attended, but I know people who have. And that allows you to get beyond your comfort zone. You may not even want to be a speaker, but you know by doing that is going to give you values and skills for when you're in that meeting maybe, or when you're approaching someone who you want to be able to court or kind of eventually have them as your partner and relationship and so on. So the little things that we do, or the semi-big things, or the big things we do to expand ourselves, isn't just for that moment, it's for the other areas of our life. It expands you as a person. So all in all, like I said, all the things I did, what I've spoken about, and there's going to be many, many more, are things which I'm not trying to impress upon you. Sorry, I'm trying to impress upon you, not to impress you. Simply because it was just trying to do things which brought something outside of me. A bit like the hero's journey, a bit like on the other side, there's going to be something good from this. Even in the tension, even in the beginning resistance, there's something beyond that. That in your mind that maybe there's a bigger journey. Because going back to that moment of taking off that first hypnosis course, I did not want to be a hypnotist. I definitely did not. It was not even in my mind. I was so consumed with my own anxieties, my own blushing, my own self-talk of going, who am I to do this? Or like in relation to work and relationships. All of that stuff was going wrong, by the way. But on the other side of going on that journey, on the way back, and this was for those who will know in England, which I'm sure England will, but America may not, or other countries, it was in Scarborough and I was in Cambridge, and at the time they didn't have the motorway there, so you had to take the A roads and so on, and all the different roundabouts. And it was a huge thing. But on that journey back, leaving at like 6-7 o'clock at night, not getting back to like midnight, 1 o'clock, I had time to think, and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. So at the beginning of that journey, I did not want to become a hypnotist. But at the end of that journey, I decided that I was going to do it, and that led to all these other stepping stones along the way. And just think if I didn't make that decision, once again, not to impress you, just really impress upon you. My work's been downloaded like 24, 25 million times in every single continent, including Antarctica. All of those things, like I couldn't even tell you all the app stats. I haven't got those to mind, but just the podcasts and the YouTubers that. All that from that one decision, which I didn't want to do. And it led to all those things. And I'm not asking you to do that either. But all I'm saying is you don't know where that journey will take you. You don't know what's on the other side of that fear until you start to cultivate it in the direction you want. And once again, you'll start to befriend that fear, and then other fears just cease to exist. The fears that you were really worried about, the chaos that you weren't consciously creating, that was placed upon you through trauma and significant emotional events, you start to navigate those in whole new different ways of perspective and meanings. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. A slight different type. I can't even talk now. A slight different perspective, because we usually crave peace and harmony and wholeness and beingness. But you also have to remember, in wholeness, in peace, there's not much room to grow. We are balanced, we're harmonized. And that's good. But I think there's always more to life as well. Like, I know this in business. I know some people say to me, why don't entrepreneurs stop after they've made 1 million, 10 million, 1 billion, 100 billion? Well, it's not about the money. It's about the challenge. It's about going into new markets. It's about selling one company, then going on vacation for maybe a week, and they get so bored and like, I've got to go back. I want to start to innovate again. So there's always something else to learn. There's always something else to grow. That is what we are here for. You're not here to stand still. You're not here to be stagnant. You are ever acting and reacting and evolving as a person. And I can prove it with just one simple sentence. And that is, you are still here listening to this episode. So you want to improve. So that is in your nature too. So create the conscious chaos and fear, obviously in safety. Like, you don't want to put yourself in dangerous situations. You just want to be able to put yourself in situations which will allow you to grow, because you know on the other side there is something about you ready not to gain, but to bring outside of yourself. And of course, if you ever want to work with me personally, you can go to josephclough.info/talk, and you can apply for my program. Maybe that will be the big fear, that you're going to kind of take the bold to invest in yourself, in time and in money, to be able to make the changes that you crave, which will have a lasting impact for the rest of your life. Of course, you have to absolutely be willing, decisive. You've got to be showing up, doing the work. Like I said, it is not free. It's an investment for sure, but I believe it will 10x, 100x back your transformation and ultimately live the life that you truly, truly deserve in every way. So that's josephclough.info/talk if you want to let go of all anxiety, worries, doubts, and the imposter syndrome and everything in between. But with that, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye. Okay, we did it. Episode 1175. We did it. Did it. Yes. Owls. Feel the fear. And grow because of it. I need to hydrate. Okay, let me get back to your comments. Because I saw some coming through. Hey, Michelle. No problems at all being late. I hope you're well and great. Exactly. Even though I didn't quite like it. Biggest breakthroughs on the other side of fear. I've recently adopted the mantra, courage over comfort. Yeah. In fact, I was listening to a podcast today about an XSAS, which is like the equivalent of like the highest part of like the army. People in that industry are like, no, I'm butchering it, but like the highest of the Navy SEALs or whoever that highest is, but the equivalent of England, the SAS. And the SAS motto is he who dares wins. Which is kind of fitting, actually. I should have maybe said that, but he who dares wins. Yes, I'm sure. I one of my ex-girlfriends, I know got a lot of value from that. Exactly. So true. And yeah. Someone in the program actually asked me, Diane, and she said, I wonder if you got listens in Antarctica or on all the continents. And I was like, wow, pretty much everyone, because that's, you know, like we've got Europe, obviously, fine. I'm going to get all confused now. Asia, continent. Is it the oceanic a continent? I think it's oceanic. Continent. Africa, continent. North America, South America. Continents. Which ones am I missing other than Antarctica? Have I just set myself up to not know all the continents? I'm trying to see the world map. Oh. What would Russia be, that area? Because Russia's huge, isn't it? Have I made myself look silly now? Help me out, chat. But yeah, so I had a look on the podcast stats, and it has a list of all the countries that my work has been downloaded. In fact, one in North Korea. Just the one episode. And so if we go to stats, see if I can find the stats by country. I got 13 pages of countries. Greenland, we got Greenland. 23. I don't know where it'd be now. I took a screenshot of it for sure, anyway. Where is it? Anyway, I promise you. It was like 23 listens. Or something like that. For those dark nights. Thank you so much. So pleased you're here, and so pleased that you found it helpful. Yes. Growing and learning. There's no growth in comfort. So true. That's very true as well about the cocoon. Is it realistic to expect overcome fears to feel easier after a while? 100%, yeah. You get accustomed to it. So there is therapies out there which do just that. Like cognitive behavioral therapy is more geared. So, for example, when I was invited to that TV show, they had a CBT person, cognitive behavioral therapist, and they were pushing them into situations slowly. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I can't remember. They were like slowly getting him into situations. Although I did let go of the fears quicker. Hopefully it was a good dinner. You didn't want to go to the hypnosis workshop, didn't you? Didn't want to go to America? I kind of wanted to go to America, but I was like, a lot of stress there. As in like leaving my family with just a suitcase. So let me kind of backtrack. There was elements of the things, everything that I did, there was an element of desire. Like I did the hypnosis course because I had a desire to let go of my issue. I didn't think it would be possible, but I did. Starting up my hypnosis practice, I didn't do it because I didn't want to do it, right? I didn't do it because I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, but there was so much fear. If you could put like 100%, there like 80% of me was saying no, 20% was desire. Going to Thailand, there's a part of me that probably like 5%, like I know there's something going to be on the other side of this. Because I just heard stories of people going backpacking, and that's what I did. And you find yourself, or you push yourself into situations to make friends. So there was a slight desire there. So it's not like I was obligating to do something I really don't want to do. Even like asking someone for the time, well, what's the outcome there? Well, I was to be able to gain confidence in some way, right? So there's going to be a percentage of desire, but usually could be a big fear, but embracing that fear to then expand the outcome. And that leads us to be able to have the courage to do what we want in those other situations. Does that make sense? I've got a picture of that for sure, because that got removed from my stats. Oh, I know why. I was trying to search for it. I've got to do like all time. All time. I don't know where I'd find it though. Because that's by the month. Because that's saying 72,000 downloads in America last month. So how do I get it by all time? I don't know. Oh, the monthly. Okay, here we go. No, not this year. It might take too long to be able to figure this out, but I promise you. No, that's not working. Oh well. Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree. It's like it was placed upon your path. Yes. Yeah, there's a fear there, but there's a desire as well. Yeah, I had to let go of my fear. Of both snakes and spiders. But that's another win though, right? It's another win. There we go. Oh, it's almost streamed for a whole hour. Almost a whole hour. Oh, I know. Why I did it to search from the wrong time. Right. So it's going to take a bit of time. Because it's searching and searching and searching and searching and searching. We'll give it a few minutes. Oh, let's see. So I've got 24 pages of countries now. Let me see. What we said there's like 20. I thought I had 25, 27 in Antarctica. Let's see if we can quickly find it. Maybe. What's that one? That's been grayed out. How strange. It's been redacted. Oh, here we go. It's got 86. Right, you ready for this? Screenshot. Pull up the desktop. Are you ready for it? Ready for it? I didn't know we had this many. Look, right at the top. 86. All time. I only thought we had like 25. How crazy. How crazy. I would not have a spider as a pet. I don't think home spiders count as pets, right? Yeah, so we've had 86 downloads in Antarctica. How cool. Any other countries to do a quick search? Some random country. See if we've got it. We've got Madagascar. Wow. Yeah, we said Greenland, right? Did I say Greenland? We've got Greenland. I'm sure I said Greenland. Did I not say Greenland? Greenland, 330. Funnily enough, I think I saw this on the search. I was like, huh. 1 second. Maybe I miss. Yes. Hey, I just saw it. Ready? We have an most amazing 70. Ready? 70. Iceland. Iceland. Oh. I gotta put land because there's lots of ICEs. 4,873. Yeah. You ready? We'll have to end the stream soon because I've got to prepare for my talk. But here we go. Iceland, 4,873. Need it for those dark winters. No, I didn't know as well. I just saw it, and then Mina was like, oh, New Zealand would be higher. Well, you know, like not hard. If I could spell. It was 72,000. That's not too many, actually. I thought it'd be more than that. For all-time downloads. Interesting, I didn't know that. So I guess the Independence has... I want to know what this grayed out one is. What do you reckon this is? Let me pull this up. It has definitely been redacted as a country. I've got 18 views in this one place. How suspicious is this? Ready? Look, there's a space of 18. I've never heard of Timor-Leste. Obviously Andorra, Liberia, Togo. But what is that gap? What was the 18? The mysterious country. Yeah, I saw Nigeria. That's it's going to be kind of low. 6,215. So the top ones are United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, India, South Africa, New Zealand, Ireland, Germany, the Netherlands. Oh, no. I went way back. Yeah, I don't know why they redacted it. I don't know. I want to see if they redacted the North Korea one. Yeah, so they've removed that stat because now I only have the Republic. Yeah. Oh, I said it. But I've got a screenshot of it, so I know that it existed. Any others? Yes, I have actually got to really prep for my Wednesday 90-minute one. Yeah. If I see something, I gotta get evidence. I wonder if I can find... My search has been real bad on this latest iOS update. I think it might even be on my phone somewhere as well. I'll see... No, this is not showing up. I know it's on my... I posted on Facebook once. Should we quickly have a look? Or not? Should we just end the stream? Or not? Where is my Facebook? Who even does Facebook? We don't like Facebook. I've got too many photos. Your photos. Is there a post by old? No. Oh well. Oh well. Got photos and photos and photos and photos. Hey Angela, you're on Facebook. Well, I'm on Facebook as well. At your 11:05 p.m, so we're almost finished now. I've got too many photos of trainings. Do you want to see the guy who fractured my rib? I can show you that one. Where is it? How annoying. Because I know it pops up on my timeline, you know, like the memories thing. Was I in Thailand at that time? I can give you evidence if I was in Thailand, but looking kind of young. Yeah, no, we're 7 hours difference rather than 8 hour difference. I'm so close. I feel like if I keep on scrolling, I'm gonna get there. I feel like it was around Thailand time. Yes. The time zone change always throws a spanner in the works for me with my business, because we have people in England and also obviously everywhere else. So I've got to do all the calculations. So when I send out the emails for the coaching calls, they've got to be adjusted. Speaking of which, I've got to set up my plan. Oh my goodness. Oh well. Maybe let me know and we'll do it another time for the picture of Korea. But once I get on a mission to do something, I can't stop. Like, I gotta find it now. It's just taking too long to load up all these pictures. I would show you if I could. But now I'm in Israel. Oh, so close. I thought we were there. Yeah, no, so even after the stream, I'm like, I'm gonna find this. I gotta find this. It's gotta be somewhere. Oh, I can show you. That's no, that's not the right one actually. Oh, and I went to the end and it's still not there. It should be so visually easy to see because it's green. My eyes were just going to be scanning now. Well, thank you so much. I feel like I'm boring just scrolling through. Oh wow. I'm on a mission. Oh wow. So I showed you quickly the picture of the person who fractured my little rib in Thailand. He was a professional MMA person. He's in the movie I've never seen the movie, but is it The Indispensables or something? And you'll see a super young me. Look how skinny, and I'm on the left, far left. And this guy was like 6'7", and he broke my rib. He's from Bulgaria, I believe. And Jason Statham and Sylvester Stallone beat him up in the movie. So that's that one. And here's super young me in Thailand. Since we were talking about that, my first trip. Obviously I don't smile. There I am. Proof. I was there. Proof. But where is the proof of the North Korea download? Oh well. Yeah. He literally picked me. He kneed my rib. I went to the ground, of course. And then while I was on the ground trying to breathe, he picked me up above his head. And he didn't drop me. He lightly dropped me onto the ground. Well, that was it. I wasn't even meant to do that, by the way, because it was I wasn't there to be like a Thai kickboxer, but it was on the same property. So I would just volunteer to do what they were doing. So one was traveling or running with weights, doing this at like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 miles out. And then your partner would do that, and while you'd rest and recover. And this one was being in a ring of 30 Thai kickboxers. Is Thai kickboxer? I don't know. Being in the middle, and you had a minute with each and every one of them, and he was at the end, and he was the one who... Oh, just like that, we found it. Look at that. To finish off the stream, we have found the one download, the absolute evidence, right here. And right... Hey, where is it? Go on, update. Here we go. You ready? There we go. That's my evidence. This was years and years ago. 10 years ago, in fact, it says. Pretty crazy, right? Yes. I didn't like the fractured rib. And look, the music's gone. Oh no, it hasn't. I thought that meant we could end the stream. But we'll end the stream now. We managed it. We closed off the loop of the download. So we happy? Are we happy? Yeah. That means I don't have to think about it anymore. I can just work. Yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, good. We're all happy. We're happy. Okay, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed the live stream, the actual main content, and on top of that, the little post show for the last 70 minutes now. So, yeah, I've got messages coming through. Got a 45-minute talk, I've been told now, or more, they've said I can do tomorrow. We'll stick to 45 minutes tomorrow. So have the most wonderful rest of your day. Thank you ever so much for being here. Feel free to hit the like button, leave a comment after the episode as well to hopefully boost the algorithms. And thank you for your ever so kind words. Have the most wonderful rest of your day and week, and I'll be here next. More messages coming through on my phone. So have the most wonderful rest of your day, and I'll speak to you on Monday. Many thanks, and goodbye.